recognize as Grand Marshal Professor Jean-Vive Dion of the Westfall College of Media Arts and Design, carries the Drexel University mace to lead the faculty procession. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as Task Force Dragon Honor Guard posts our national colors, and the national anthem is sung by Rebecca Seiler, an adjunct instructor of the Westfall College of Media Arts and Design. Afterwards, remain standing for the invocation by Reverend Carlos Keene of the Newman Catholic Campus Ministry on behalf of the Drexel University Interfaith Council.
Dear brothers and sisters, what an exciting year, 2015, this academic year. As we start this new year, let us take a moment to do silence in our hearts and put ourselves in the presence of God, recognizing His power, His strength, His presence. And as we start this year, in our hearts, we give thanks to God for so many blessings that have been poured in our lives and in our institution. We ask Him to continue to bless this beautiful family, the family of Drexel, so it might flourish and grow and be everything that our dear Lord wants for it. We also ask for His blessing to be poured specially on the freshmen that were so well received this year. I've heard so many beautiful things from them from this welcoming week. And we ask them to protect them, guide them, so that they might also flourish within this family. And for today, for this blessing, I thought of bringing a very, very old, maybe the first solemn blessing in our Bible. The blessing that the Lord taught Moses through Aaron to bless all the people. And it goes, "The Lord your God may bless you and keep you. The Lord your God, let His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord your God look upon you kindly and give you peace." Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning, colleagues, and welcome to the 2015 Drexel University Convocation. I'm John Fry, and it's an honor and a privilege to be with all of you today. Let me begin by acknowledging the new and returning members of our faculty and professional staff, as well as the participants from Drexel's student body. The convocation ceremony allows us to celebrate our rich and storied academic tradition and to recommit to building a humane and collegial community at a time of immense opportunities and exciting prospects for Drexel. I had the great fortune to take part in another welcome event on Sunday, one that was certainly more raucous than this convocation promises to be. For the first time, our team in enrollment management and student success brought all of our new freshmen and transfer students down to the Pennsylvania Convention Center for a celebration to launch Welcome Week. I introduced myself to our new students and let them know that everyone at Drexel is deeply invested in their success. I could feel the enormous pride and palpable excitement in the room. And I believe it went beyond the bands and the DJ and the great Philadelphia Contemporary Dance Company that performed, and the videos and the speakers and the music, even though all of that made the Drexel experience look larger than life. What I sensed is that those students had just made the biggest decision of their lives so far, and they were extremely confident in the kind of university that they had chosen and why Drexel is the place that they should be. That represents one important goal for this year already achieved. We made a number of difficult choices last year that set us on a course for achieving great things this year and beyond. For example, after careful study, we determined that it was no longer a tenable strategy to simply maximize the number of students who apply to Drexel and then to sift through that largely undifferentiated group to find a class that would enroll. Instead, we focused on intensively recruiting a smaller, more select group of students who fit this university well and who would, with our encouragement and support, achieve academic success and eventually graduate at higher levels than ever before. As a result, we increased our yield, which is how many accepted students actually enrolled, by more than 5 percentage points, and I expect that our yield will continue to rise. The short-term outcome is a highly qualified freshman class of over 2,800, more than 200 above our enrollment target, plus over 900 transfer students. The long-term outcome will be critical improvements in our retention and graduation rates, which will bolster Drexel's academic reputation and our financial capacity going forward. Realization of the promise of this new class depends on all of us doing the best we can to teach and to mentor and to support each one of these students by applying all of our talent and energy to this work. Every member of the faculty and professional staff must be committed to this end. I cannot overstate to you the importance of this challenge. Last year at Convocation, I made the case that academic investment was and will continue to be the highest priority of this institution. Last week, I had the chance to speak to most of the 60 new full-time faculty members beginning their first full year at Drexel, many of whom were recruited because of the university's commitment to funding new faculty lines in areas of high demand and great opportunity. That was an extremely gratifying day for me because the most important factor in helping our students achieve academic success and eventually lead successful and meaningful professional lives are the relationships that they build in the classroom and in the laboratory with the outstanding and committed professors who teach and mentor them. These new faculty members also bring a wealth of innovative talents and expertise to enhance our research mission. As we continue our efforts to break down disciplinary silos and institutional barriers, I anticipate that their scholarly work will be more interdisciplinary than ever before. I look forward to seeing what they will accomplish in partnership with their new Drexel colleagues. So for all of these reasons, I'm looking forward to seeing Drexel back in session next week, and I'm sure all of you are as well. Together, we have positioned Drexel for a very successful future. And this year, we'll see the university's impact continue to grow in ways that in the past really would have been hard to imagine. One necessary factor in fulfilling our mission as a research university is the guidance of our outstanding trustees. We have several here today, and I'd like to acknowledge them. And please rise as I call your name. Kathleen Shimicles, Tom Klein, Steve Scheller, Stan Silverman, Katie Hunt, and Van Reiner from the Academy of Natural Sciences Board. Let's give those colleagues a hand. To help us begin this convocation, I'm pleased to introduce Richard Greenewalt, Chairman of the Drexel University Board of Trustees. A 1966 graduate of Drexel, Rich has been one of the university's most dedicated and generous alumni. Chairman Greenewalt.
Thank you, President Fry. Well, good morning, everyone. On behalf of the trustees of Drexel University, welcome to Convocation. I'm pleased to gather today with the faculty and professional staff of the university. Your hard work and your vision inspires our board. I'm proud of your impact on Drexel students, on our neighborhoods, our city, and on society. I'm especially proud of how our faculty pursues solutions to the big challenges of our time and how you collaborate to increase your effectiveness. Drexel's interdisciplinary research centers represent the future of discovery and innovation at the university. The Excite Center, led by today's keynote speaker, Dr. Youngmoo Kim, is a great example of that spirit. I want to welcome those faculty and professional staff members joining us for the first time today. I look forward to the momentum you will bring to the institution and to the new ideas that you will champion. And a special welcome to Provost Blake in his first convocation. I'm excited to be working with you, Provost Blake. Thanks for everyone for coming today, and good luck in the year to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich, for your remarks and for the outstanding stewardship and commitment by our Board of Trustees. So the President doesn't traditionally open the convocation ceremony at Drexel, but I requested that privilege today so that I could mark the auspicious beginning of what is no less than a new era in Drexel's academic life. Today, I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you for the first time at Convocation, Dr. Brian Blake, Drexel's new Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. As I mentioned, we have successfully positioned Drexel to pursue national leadership in higher education innovation. The path to that goal covers several types of terrain. We must continue to embrace our foundation of excellence in experiential learning, including co-op and entrepreneurship. We must harness the potential of our translational research expertise and bolster it with interdisciplinary strengths. We need to better support and coordinate our excellent graduate programs. We must embrace and enhance the diversity of our community. And Drexel must cement its role as a catalyst of urban transformation through our civic engagement and urban extension initiatives. Drexel's provost provides leadership that is critical for all of those priorities, which put a great deal of responsibility on our search committee, so ably led by Dr. John Rich of the School of Public Health. Please join me in saluting John and all of the search committee members for their outstanding work. In Brian Blake, the committee discovered a candidate with demonstrated experience and vision relevant to all of our priorities. During the search process, Dr. Blake's passion for experiential learning stood out. He is, first of all, a product of that rich tradition at Georgia Tech, where he was an undergraduate co-op student for 2 years with General Electric. That led to an opportunity with GE's Edison Engineering program for graduate students, and he completed his doctoral studies while working as a software engineer. Subsequently, the first 7 years of his academic career balanced research and teaching with industry consulting. He has consistently demonstrated his commitment to a deep intellectual connection between real-world practice and academic study, which is one of our hallmarks at Drexel. Also, our university is much better positioned now after several years of focusing on strategies to create one university to now reap the full benefits of collaboration among all of our academic disciplines. Dr. Blake's CV shows that he has held senior administrative positions at Georgetown University, the University of Notre Dame, and the University of Miami, with responsibilities across the arts and sciences, engineering, computer science, and medicine. His leadership roles variously and often simultaneously included oversight of research, instruction, and faculty affairs. He comes to us with deep insight and expertise that easily spans the breadth of Drexel's complex and vibrant academic enterprise. As an educator and as an academic, Dr. Blake's achievements are many and impressive. Throughout his rising career as an administrator, he maintained a significant teaching load for which he was consistently rated highly by his students. He also ran an active research laboratory and attracted more than $10 million in funding for work focusing on web-based services and applications. And he advised more than 40 postdoctoral, graduate, and undergraduate researchers. He authored or co-authored more than 160 publications and serves as editor-in-chief of IEEE Internet Computing. He has received recognition ranging from the Association for Computing Machinery Distinguished Scientist to IEEE Distinguished Lecturer to one of the 50 most powerful Black executives in South Florida. As an administrator, Dr. Blake has had an extensive record of achievement and building and enhancing graduate education, one of Drexel's most important goals. As most of you know, Dr. James Herbert, who served skillfully and with great commitment as interim provost over the last year, is now the founding dean of our university's graduate college. He and Dr. Blake will be outstanding partners in making sure that our graduate students and their faculty consistently receive resources and attention commensurate with their great importance to Drexel. Please join me in thanking James again for his achievements as Drexel's interim provost. Dr. Blake also brings experience and dedication to several areas where we're building our capacity. 2 years ago, we dedicated Convocation to a discussion of both the inherent and the instrumental value of diversity at Drexel. We have identified the need to be creative and vigilant in building a university that reflects our society. That remains a goal and a work in progress. As both Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School at Miami, Dr. Blake led research and innovation aimed at supporting and increasing diversity. His initiatives included curricular transformation, recruitment efforts, and fundraising. The pinnacle was a new vision for graduate education called Distinction and Diversity, which focused on enhancing research outcomes for graduate students and junior faculty, making graduate education more visible, and leveraging the diversity of Miami's programs and its community. Finally, Drexel is deeply committed to becoming an activist university that engages with our neighbors and our city in pursuit of Community and Economic Development. Dr. Blake has extensive experience serving urban anchor educational institutions, especially in Miami. He was an organizational readiness liaison to the Beacon Council, which is one of the community organizations responsible for Greater Miami's One Community, One Goal initiative to spur job creation and talent retention. He was also a leader on the planning committee of the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce's Senior Executive Orientation, a transition program for new executives being recruited into the area. Dr. Blake's academic interests and his career path resonates perfectly with Drexel's priorities, and his experience and talent and humanity make him uniquely suited to synchronize our academic programs with those priorities while first and foremost serving our faculty and our students. I am proud to have Brian and Bridget and their young sons, Brendan and Bryce, as new members of our Drexel community. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Brian Blake.
Thanks, President Fry. That's such a humbling introduction. I don't know how to begin. Good morning, distinguished guests, students, colleagues, and friends. Let me start by formally and publicly thanking President Fry and members of the Board of Trustees for this wonderful opportunity. Let me also thank and add to President Fry's comments, Dr. John Rich, Chair, and members of the Search Committee for their confidence in me. I would be remiss if I didn't also thank Dr. James Herbert for serving for a year as interim provost. His tireless efforts have bridged the leadership of the Office of Provost while accomplishing a number of really important initiatives that have really helped me at this point in my career as provost. In support of the deans, Dr. Herbert was instrumental in the recruitment and hiring of an innovative core faculty. I got the opportunity to speak to them a few weeks ago. He has been critical in the creation of our new transparent budget model, and he was and continues to be essential to the creation of our graduate college and the future advancement of the graduate mission here at Drexel University. Above all, I'm indebted to him because he's done a transition for me that can only be seen as legendary. Probably to his horror, we were in discussion each week since April, so that's his commitment. James, I look forward to partnering with you in your new role as Executive Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. So would you please join me in one more round of applause for James? He also played basketball with my son, so and if you didn't pick up on that, it's Brian, Bridget, Brendan, and Bryce, so it is all B's. I'd also like to introduce Dr. Sabir Sahu, who has recently been elevated to the role of Associate Vice President and Dean of Student Life. Dr. Sahu is a PhD from Temple, who over the past decade, through his excellent accomplishments, has had a meteoric rise through resident life, up to the position of director, then Associate Dean of Students, and now Associate Vice President and Dean of Student Life. We really look forward to working with you. I'd also like to recognize my wife again, who took off work this morning and to try to build up ammunition against me, I'm suspecting, and also Ms. Donna McVicker, who's actually hosting her today. I extend my warmest greetings to our distinguished trustees, our truly amazing students, fellow faculty and staff, our senior university leadership, and the incredible support staff in the Office of the Provost. I've been here just over a month, and I've been simply overwhelmed by the hospitality from everyone, my new Drexel family. I've been made to feel very comfortable in the new role, and the institution is so innovative that I'm amazed on a daily basis. As you might imagine, I've been approached by many faculty with great, wonderful ideas. And I've been inspired by all of them. I apologize if I'm an engineer, if I sometimes come across as being a little bit guarded, because I remember in my first week as graduate dean at the University of Miami, I was like a kid in a toy store. So all these ideas just phenomenal. I was so positive about all the potential new programs when speaking to faculty. I was surprised to find out that just being positive about a number of ideas, I had unofficially approved over a dozen programs in the first week. Apparently, the provost role has some similarities. Just last week, I was speaking to a group of faculty about a potential new program. Although I really favored the program, I was careful not to like it too much. I remember asking for feedback from one of the instructors, "What do you think, Dr. Smith?" And I changed the name to protect the innocent. And she immediately said, "Thank you." In my head, I was thinking, oh no, I must have done it again. So I replied, "Why are you thanking me? I don't think I've done anything yet." She said, "Actually, you have. I don't have my doctorate, but I humbly accept your offer of an honorary degree." Okay, on a more serious note, I was asked to share a few comments about my vision and plans for academic mission during my time as provost. In my first official act as provost, I'm going to try to keep these comments really short. Let me first start by saying that I still have a great deal of listening and learning and absorbing to do prior to devising a very definitive plan. Over the next 2 months, I will have half-day visits to each of the 15 schools and colleges in the Academy of Natural Sciences. Frankly, I've actually been to that academy. It's a wonderful, wonderful location. However, I would like to share some initial thoughts and themes that I hope to act on in the near term. First, let me address the 800-pound gorilla in the room. This is like a question I've been asked 5 times daily since April. What is it about Drexel University that convinced you to be crazy enough to leave the year-long tropical Miami weather for the harsh Philadelphia winters? That was easy. Well, in addition to Drexel being an institution with limitless potential, let's just say third time's a charm. You see, when I was looking to do a PhD in information science, Drexel was one of my top choices, and this was 20 years ago. In addition to that, 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to working with Dean Emeritus David Finsky, exploring a professor and associate dean position in the College of Computing and Informatics. So when we had the opportunity to have a conversation with Dr. Rich 6 months ago, my wife and I knew the timing was perfect. As a first-generation college graduate, engineer, computer scientist, graduate of Georgia Tech, which is another co-op-heavy institution, and having worked full-time as a software engineer through my doctorate, and then later I actually do applied research, Drexel was just a perfect fit for me. I felt very comfortable being able to tell the story of Drexel University. I still feel like I have the lens of an outsider, and it's from that perspective that I plan to partner with all of you. Having the perspectives from 3 different institutions from the Northeast, the Midwest, the Deep South, I'm from Savannah, and, well, Miami. Being from Savannah, actually, I know that Miami is not the Deep South. But instead, it's the closest city to the United States. It's a tough crowd. I still feel like I have an outsider's perspective where my insights tell me that certain aspects of our reputation that we get for free, but there are others aspects that we have to tell more clearly. It is clear to me that Drexel has a prominent history and national reputation in STEAM, and that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Drexel is a leader in cooperative education and experiential learning. Drexel has an excellent regional reputation, and fortified by our esteemed president, the university is a pioneer in civically engaged education. Now, what is also true about Drexel, but not as widely known if you go in different corners, is that Drexel is perhaps one of the most comprehensive institutions in the country and in the nation. I like to say this all the time. I guess I've said it in a couple, so you might have heard this already. If you take my previous institutions, we take Georgetown and Notre Dame and Miami, and you take all their schools and colleges and you combine them, there's still more schools and colleges here at Drexel University. So there really is no better place for students to have the opportunity to kind of learn what their perfect fit is for their careers. Drexel is definitely the most agile and progressive institution of higher education in the country today. It is clear to me that Drexel University, by its nature, has, and at this point will continue to, what I like to say is, reinvent the mode for academic experience in the 21st century and beyond. The next great institution is not going to have the ability to I would say, do it the way traditional institution has done it, that have pretty much relied on classical and theoretical formations. Theory will need to be fortified by a more comprehensive, experiential, agile, and global engagement. It's my opinion that all of these aspects as a start have to be continually reinforced in the overall academic mission of the school. Keeping all this in mind, in my early thinking, I believe there's a couple of themes that I'd like to follow my career herein. The Office of Provost must partner with the faculty and the deans to optimize resources that sharpen and develop points of academic strength while also enhancing points of investment. I like to call these signature programs and investments. As a result, in this academic year, we will conduct several assessments, hopefully as university advisory committees in partnership with the Faculty Senate. We hope to conduct an assessment that takes a close look at our curriculum, broadly, while investigating the variety, pedagogical innovation, flexibility, and student satisfaction of our programs. Another assessment will evaluate our extinctive centers of research excellence from the bottom up. I hope that we can devise initiatives and incentive programs to support entrepreneurial leadership and throughout the university for students, for faculty and staff, and also for our administrative leadership. The Office of Provost will encourage the creation and evolution of existing programs to create contemporary, market-driven graduate and online programs. We will encourage first-of-a-kind remote, online, hybrid graduate programs on and off campus and throughout the city and region. It is imperative that at a place like Drexel, where we have such a unique and distinctive history, that we develop programs that meet the students where they are. And that might require us to evolve our academic fit. We also hope to encourage the creation of new specialty programs that align to the Drexel student. We should have reimagined specific undergraduate degrees to highlight strength in civic engagement, experiential learning, and professional studies. We must create and enhance recognition programs for both faculty and students that attract excellent, diverse students, and might also perhaps look at alternative enrollment options to increase the breadth of our students. We hope to investigate the alternative enrollment options for the summer and winter quarters. We'll continue to promote and sponsor the advancement of our graduate students broadly. Obviously, as a past graduate dean, that's a fit for me. Diversity, for me, has been a personal passion for my entire career. We must facilitate and celebrate diversity and inclusion in all facets in everything that we do. We will continue, as Office of the Provost, to spread the Drexel story in the Northeast, but also nationally through our outreach. We hope to partner with faculty, enrollment management, and advancement to develop an academic campaign in the Northeast and in target cities around the country. Such a campaign would highlight Drexel to potential families, guidance counselors, and peer institutions. I'm personally committed to actually writing a number of op-ed pieces as well to kind of tell the Drexel story more clearly. In summary, Drexel has a phenomenal history and a story that places it without peer among the nation's most premier institutions. I look forward to diligently working with our community and really look forward to your partnership. I hope you will feel comfortable reaching out to me. I'm known to be laser fast with email with your comments, ideas, and suggestions. I wish you the very best in the start of this academic year and looking forward to working with you more. Thank you so much. Now on to our headliner. Today we'll hear a keynote address from a Drexel scholar who recognized that new ideas often occur at the contact points between disciplines and who created a nexus to capture that energy. Dr. Youngmoo Kim founded Drexel's Excite Center 3 years ago. I had the opportunity to go. They have a T3 event that happens every third Tuesday, so I had a chance to take a look at that in my first week, and it's just amazing. His goal was to spark multidisciplinary collaboration across Drexel and throughout Philadelphia. Excite stands for Expressive and Creative Interactive Technologies, and the center focuses on work that integrates the arts into STEM research and education. A site is the home to a growing portfolio of innovative research, including the Wearable Technology Lab, headed by today's Grand Marshal, Genevieve Dion, and the Entrepreneurial Game Studio, led by Frank Lee. The center also provides seed grants for promising projects. Since 2012, those grants have gone to faculty members in the College of Engineering, the School of Biomedical Engineering, Science and Health Systems, the Westfall College of Media Arts and Design, the College of Nursing and Health Professions, the College of Computing and Informatics, the School of Education, and the College of Arts and Sciences, as well as a number of regional partners. Dr. Kim is an associate professor of electrical and computer engineering, whose research into how machines can understand audio has been supported by the NSF, the National Science Foundation, the Knight Foundation, and the NAM Foundation. He also serves as resident technologist for Opera Philadelphia, a position he created with the support of Drexel's sabbatical leave program. Dr. Kim received Drexel's Lindback Award for distinguished teaching and has been named Scientist of the Year at the Philadelphia Geek Awards. He's also an accomplished musician who was a member of the Boston Symphony Festival Chorus for 8 years and currently sings with a cappella ensemble called the Tonics. Dr. Kim received 2 bachelor degrees of music and engineering from Swarthmore, 2 master degrees of engineering and music at Stanford, and his PhD in media arts and sciences from MIT. MIT, the Drexel University of Boston. He plans to talk a bit today about our multidisciplinary future. It's my privilege to welcome my Chestnut Hill neighbor, Dr. Youngmoon Kim.
Thank you. All right, we got to do a thing here. Everybody smile. All right. All right. My Twitter handle is just @YoungMoo, so we can use that. All right. Thank you, Provost Blake, for that very kind introduction. And let me be just the latest in the chorus saying we are absolutely thrilled to have you join us here at Drexel. President Fry, Chairman Greenwald, trustees, deans, distinguished guests, my fellow Drexel colleagues, and especially those new to our Drexel community. I am deeply honored and so very humbled by the opportunity to speak today. And the reason I actually took that shot was because the cameras always tend to face this way. But today, the focus should be on all of us. I'm Youngmoo Kim, director of the Excite Center, and I have the great privilege of welcoming you at the start of this 2015-16 academic year, the best year ever. Now, why am I so sure of that? Because there's so much happening in Philadelphia and right here at Drexel. You can't help but notice all the changes to our campus, the latest being the opening of the Summit, providing on-campus housing for more than 1,300 of our students. We are well on the path to realizing the Innovation Neighborhood, a model partnership for the 21st century to bring the Academy closer than ever to civic and industry concerns. Our incoming freshman class is one of the most selective in history, and perhaps more importantly, most informed about Drexel and our unique approach to experiential education. Heck, even the Pope is coming to town to check things out. So, I hope you are as excited as I am for this upcoming year. Today, I'd like to initiate what I hope to be a year-long conversation about multidisciplinary collaboration. For I believe such efforts are the key to creative problem solving and represent the very future of education, research, innovation, and expression at our university and in our world. Now, I know it sounds like a buzzword: multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, non-disciplinary. Pick your term. And some of you may be thinking, what kind of new age linguistic nonsense is this?
Well, I choose the term multidisciplinary because it encapsulates the spirit of combining a multitude of perspectives. And when I say multidisciplinary, I mean highly multidisciplinary. Efforts that connect fashion design with material science and healthcare, or video games with education and entrepreneurship, and music with machine learning and robotics, just to name a few. I mean true collaboration that spans different schools and colleges. And today, we will introduce a new pathway for highly multidisciplinary collaborative faculty efforts at Drexel. Now, as many of you know, my background spans both engineering and music. In fact, this term marks the 10-year anniversary of my arrival at Drexel, and I am extraordinarily grateful to this institution, to the College of Engineering, and my department, whose support for multidisciplinary pursuits in a new and emerging field has been tremendous. Incidentally, that description of new and emerging, that's academic code for we don't really know what he's doing, but it sounds kind of cool. Well, this year, we celebrate some of the great multidisciplinary innovators throughout history. Ada Lovelace was born 200 years ago this year, who observed that the process to create fabric patterns in looms could also be used to represent all logic algorithms. She's sometimes called the world's first computer programmer. Walt Disney, who propelled both technology and storytelling, inspiring creative expression for generations. This will be the 50th anniversary of his passing in 1966. 2015 would have been the 60th birthday of Steve Jobs, who revolutionized computing and digital media and the art of constructive disruption. He famously framed Apple's efforts as the intersection of technology and the liberal arts. There's growing evidence that having multiple, broad, and yet connected interests can lead to great advances. By now, most of you are probably dying to check that mobile device in your pocket, which exemplifies the integration of countless technical advances with human-centric design. The principle of frequency hopping, which is the foundation of modern communications, was developed not by an engineer, but by an actress, Hedy Lamarr, working with a composer, George Antheil. There is a significant correlation between arts participation and scientific achievement. Nobel Prize winners are 25 times more likely than the average scientist to sing, to dance, or to act. You may say, these are especially gifted individuals, geniuses. And there's no doubt these were and are extraordinary people. But I think this propagates a pernicious myth about creativity, that it's only endowed upon the select few. More and more research, including some here at Drexel by our colleague, Professor John Cunios and his team, reveals that creativity is not an innate gift. Creativity lies within all of us. It is the process of being able to synthesize new insights from disparate pieces of information. And despite the mythology surrounding great innovators, no one works in isolation. All of us build upon each other's work. Some of the greatest advances in research, education, industry are the result of large-scale collaboration. And it's clear that tectonic shifts in research, philanthropic funding, product development, and even public services are moving rapidly to favor multidisciplinary collaboration. So what does that mean for Drexel? I'll admit, I was well into my career here when I first learned that our university was founded as the Drexel Institute of Art, Science, and Industry. These pillars are reflected on our university seal and reveal that multidisciplinarity is in the very DNA of our institution. I argue that this triangle remains at the core of our mission today, but perhaps this is made clear through the modern lens of art through design, of science through technology, and of industry through entrepreneurship. I believe the future of Drexel will be built upon these pillars: design, technology, and entrepreneurship, not in isolation, but in combination, because so much innovation occurs at the intersections between these fields. And we know our founder, Anthony J. Drexel, was incredibly forward-thinking because he famously said the following: I know the world is going to change, therefore, the university must change with it. And that is why, with the support of President Fry, the Board of Trustees, the Office of Research, and many others, we created the Excite Center to be Drexel's multidisciplinary hub for design, technology, and entrepreneurship. By reimagining our founding principles for the 21st century, we pursue our mission of constructive disruption, to seek innovative and better ways of doing things, whether that's in the research lab, how we provide meaningful experiences to our students, and in everything else that we do. The Excite Center is many things, but if I have to boil it down to one, it's creative collaboration. Every project of ours is a collaboration between a diversity of individuals and disciplines, and sometimes institutions. This effort has enabled breakthroughs in wearable technologies using smart fabrics, led by Professor Geneviève Dion, founding director of the Shimaseki Haute Technology Lab. Professor Dion, working in close collaboration with others across the university and supported by the Drexel Coulter Translational Research Partnership, developed the Belly Band, a prenatal monitor integrating fashion design and healthcare expertise with advances in material science, wireless communications, and software. Professor Frank Lee of Digital Media, co-founder of the highly ranked Drexel Game Design Program and Guinness World Record holder for the largest video game in history. He founded the Entrepreneurial Game Studio to have students develop not just games, but sustainable game companies. The LiveNote app from our App Lab engages a new generation of audiences with the world-class live symphonic performances of the Philadelphia Orchestra. And everything we do at Excite emphasizes civic engagement. We host the Digital On-Ramps initiative from University Community Partnerships and have partnered with so many others throughout the city for civic technology and education projects. At Excite, we believe that creative expression is essential to everything we do, not just in the arts and design, but in science, technology, engineering, and math. In short, we advocate not just for STEM, but for STEAM, integrating the arts and design alongside the STEM fields. For I believe the mission of both scientists and artists to be one and the same. That is, to reveal to us things that we didn't see before or couldn't see before. And this enables others to experience and express the joys of knowledge and creativity. We believe STEAM will be the key driver of future innovation in research, in entertainment, in business and entrepreneurship, and in community and neighborhood engagement. And our outreach efforts at Excite, our summer music technology program, our K-12 partnerships, and our annual STEAM education workshop reflect this vision of learning. Now, these programs were developed in partnership with others across the university, including the Center for Advanced STEM Teaching and Learning, the School of Education, and the College of Engineering. So we're definitely not the only ones at Drexel pursuing a collaborative, multidisciplinary agenda. Far from it. Announcements in the past few months include a new NSF project to study learning technologies and games, led by Professor Santiago Antonian from the College of Computing. There's a graduate program, a new graduate program in biomedicine and digital media, a partnership between the Westfall College and the College of Medicine. And there's a College of Engineering's new partnership with Peace Tech Lab to develop new ways of amplifying the power of technology, media, and data to prevent violent conflict. Real multidisciplinary collaboration is all around us. So now, more than ever, I know what a great privilege it is to be part of this institution and this profession. Now, my father is a professor, and his father was a professor. So, of course, I tried really, really hard to be something else, anything else. Right? After my first stint in graduate school, I worked in Silicon Valley. After completing my PhD, I joined a startup company. So as much as I tried to avoid this horrible fate, I have to make the following confession. It is the best job in the world, and there is nothing else I would rather do. Now, it's not because it's an easy job. Actually, it's the opposite. Of course, the work is hard. Teaching is hard. Research is hard. Publishing, hard. Grant writing, hard. Right? In my field, signal processing and machine learning and robotics, these are hard problems. And I know your fields are just as challenging, if not more so. But I also believe this, that as difficult as our work is, there are problems all around us that are much, much harder. There is widespread poverty, inequality, and a terrible, terrible ease with which one can bring harm to others. In our city, 26% of the population lives below the poverty line. That's more than 1 in 4. Less than 40% of 11th graders in the school district of Philadelphia are proficient at math. Only 42 proficient at reading. And while I am no fan of standardized testing, those numbers should be of concern to all of us. I've had the privilege and the opportunity to work with some extraordinary schools like Science Leadership Academy, String Theory Schools, Springside Chestnut Hill Academy. But I've also witnessed students trying to learn but being stymied for so many reasons, from lack of teachers, aging or non-existent learning technologies, or crumbling basic infrastructure. But I mentioned something about this being the best job in the world. It's the best job in the world because we have the ultimate platform with which to effect change. Whether you are working to address poverty-driven malnutrition, like Professor Mariana Chilton, or connecting our brightest STEM graduate students with K-12 teachers in classrooms, like Professor Adam Fontecchio, whether working to provide clean water to cities like Professor Franco Montalto, or access to comprehensive health care for the city's most vulnerable residents like Professor Patricia Garrity. I'm sorry, I can't mention each of you individually by name. You are all doing amazing things. But I believe our efforts collectively in research and discovery, education, entrepreneurship, and civic engagement to be all interconnected. For whatever your specialty, we all share responsibility for what's happening in our city, our nation, and our world. But as individuals from our disciplinary silos, we are all working with incomplete information. So we need to work together across disciplines to fill those gaps and face the enormous challenges ahead. But collaboration, especially across disciplines, as they say, it ain't easy. It takes more time. It requires us to give up a little bit of control in the hope of a greater shared outcome. But it is necessary, and we must try. And even if we don't succeed at first, as my friends at the Close School of Entrepreneurship will say, we will fail forward, and we will learn. And of course, the real failure would be not to try at all. So, how are we going to do this? Well, I am very pleased to announce today a new pathway for Drexel faculty interested in pursuing multidisciplinary collaboration at the intersection of technology, design, and entrepreneurship. This fall, with thanks to the President, Provost, and the Office of Research, we are accepting applications for the Excite Faculty Fellowship for the 2016-17 academic year. Faculty Fellows will receive support for a reduced teaching load, research compensation, workspace, and some discretionary funding to explore new collaborative projects at the Excite Center. Fellows will work closely with existing faculty at the center over an extended period of time because our experience tells us that is what it takes. And it is our hope that these fellows will become ambassadors for multidisciplinary collaboration within their home units and across the university. The application will be online shortly, and it will be due by the end of the fall term. So if you are interested in the fellowship or the Excite Center in general, I encourage you to visit. We have a very unique mechanism for the Excite experience. It was alluded to earlier. We call it T3, and it is the brainchild of our extraordinary program manager and Westfall alum, Carol Lindstrom. T3 stands for Third Thursdays at 3. It's our monthly convening held every Thursday at 3 p.m. of the month. Wait, that's today. That's today. T3 is always a brief program of 5-minute lightning presentations spanning all aspects of design, technology, and entrepreneurship, and sometimes beyond. We've had talks on everything from music performance to machine learning, from innovative research to the innovation neighborhood. We include speakers from both inside and external to the Drexel community. It's a diverse audience spanning students, faculty, and staff, as well as external participants. It is always a great crowd. And today, we have an extraordinary guest, Conrad Tao, piano virtuoso, composer, and White House presidential scholar in the arts. But if you can't make it today at 3 p.m., just try again next month. Since opening in January 2013, we've held a T3 every single month, and this will be our 33rd today. So I began my remarks with a very bold assertion that this will be the best year ever at Drexel. And for that to happen, it's going to take a special effort from all of us. For some, that will be through efforts to better teach, mentor, and engage students in the classroom. For others, it will be new discoveries in the laboratory. It is my fervent hope that for many, it will be through new multidisciplinary collaborative efforts. But for all of us, it involves the will to make change for the better, to not accept the state of things when we know they can be improved, to be agents of constructive disruption. There are processes that have existed for more than a century. There are others that have been put into place only recently. In either case, let us not follow tradition only for tradition's sake. Ours is the great privilege to question those beliefs, to determine what makes sense for this day and for this age. And ours is also the great responsibility to examine with an open mind and without prejudice. We can each make things better, and we must, each of us, make things better. Let Anthony J. Drexel's words resonate. I know the world is going to change, therefore, the university must change with it. That change starts right here, right now, with us. And that is why this will be Drexel's best year ever. Have a fantastic start to the fall term. Thank you.
Musical interlude. Please join me again in thanking Dr. Kim for inspirational remarks. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ludo Sheffer, teaching professor in psychology in the College of Arts and Sciences and chair of the Faculty Senate. Dr. Sheffer.
Thanks, Brian. The 4 Bs, I guess that makes you B2. You'll be B1, right? Yes. Okay. Whoa. I don't want to get into that. But I'm on your side. The president, when he started, offered us a reflection of raucousness, or perhaps a challenge of raucousness. Which one would you like? The challenge. Okay. So, at some point, you're going to have to be raucous. Dear Chairman Greenewald, members of the Board of Trustees, President Fry, Provost Blake, distinguished guests, colleagues, students, and staff of this amazing place we call Drexel. A new academic year is upon us. It's a great day for the start of an academic year. The moving of the convocation to the beginning of the year has always been the wish of the faculty, so that we would not disrupt classes. As you can tell, disruption is an important idea. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Interim Provost Herbert, for making that happen. Unfortunately, in this first year of our new process, somebody did not get the memo about disrupting our fall term. Perhaps this was lost in translation. But we'll work on that for next year. Thank you, Youngmo Kim, for sharing your insights about incredible opportunities that interdisciplinary research or multidisciplinary research holds. I think the challenge for us as a university is to rise to the occasion and address both internal and external barriers, such as how we look at tenure, how we look at publication count when it comes to tenure and promotion. Your presentation truly is a tough act to follow today, but not as hard as last year when you serenaded the Board of Trustees in their meeting right before I had to give the Senate report to the board. He actually does really sing. Members of the community, welcome to the Hold Harmless year. I can make it walk. So if you're not sure what that means, you should talk to your colleague, but I'm sure that by the end of the day, you will know, or you missed that memo as well. You've heard me speak in the past about shared stewardship, shared governance, and how critical this is if we are to accomplish the one university vision of the president. The process by which this is best done can be characterized as search together rather than tell and sell. The development of responsibility center management budget processes is such an example where Senate, deans, administrators work together to create a developmental RCM budget model. Last year, the RCM team, not the A team, consisting of the interim provost, the CFO, EVP, Helen Bowman, key administrators, and the chair of the Senate, went to each college and school and center to talk about RCM and to also learn how it actually really affected us and what perhaps changes needed to be made to some of the drivers in the model that calculate all kinds of costs, taxes, taxations, and what have you. This year we're going to come back. It's really a true model in which the Senate and the administration works together. University advisory committees, as Dr. Blake mentioned, they are established through the Charter of Faculty Governance, and in that sense, Senate and senior administrators work together around issues that affect the university and its well-being. The creation of the graduate school with a founding dean was the result of the work of such a UAC. Other UACs are focusing on writing, the student learning priorities, and faculty diversity, and the newest UAC that we just put in place is going to focus on the assessment of teaching and learning, and that is more than the end-of-term course evaluations. So RCM and UACs have become strong examples of shared stewardship. The domain where the Senate and administration will start to work together this year has to do with enrollment management and student success, where Randy Dykey and his team and the chair of the Senate will visit each college to talk about the new enrollment, recruiting, and retention strategies. It really is to have conversations, to understand how things work, so that ultimately we become a better university. The Senate itself is also working to realize its one university ideal, and so we now have 4 adjunct faculty members who have voice but not vote, are members of the Senate, so congratulations. We also have created caucuses so that Senate and Senate committee members can actually really talk with each other within the colleges. And we are working on a couple of other things that deal with how, for instance, we think about finances. There's also a Senate committee that worked for about a year and a half on revising the faculty charter and the set of bylaws that allows us to be more nimble and so that the government becomes more effective. And in this process, the College of Medicine became an integral part of the process. And this past June, Dr. Ramesh Raghupathy was elected as Secretary of the Senate on behalf of the College of Medicine. So we have crossed the bridge for sure. You can follow all this through our website, the links, and we will start a blog, although I know that Dr. Blake is also going to do a blog. So maybe we'll be blogging at each other or with each other. I want to thank James Herbert for his leadership as interim provost. In his convocation address last year, he said he wasn't just going to keep the trains running and that he would address a couple of critical issues, and he has. I won't list them here, you know them, but suffice it to say that he led meaningful change in several domains. In his new role as founding dean of the graduate school, we can expect a problem-solving, mindful, and strategic leader. It is quite interesting, by the way, to me, that now a clinical psychologist leads the graduate school, a clinical psychologist leads the athletic department, Dr. Zilmer, so it kind of shows us that Drexel is really a living example of mind and body unity. Difficult concept. I want to take this moment really to offer a special welcome to Provost Brian Blake. He is not a psychologist, yet. Brian has reached out to the Senate and the steering committee and has already met with him twice at his request, and he will come to the Senate as soon as well. So we are excited about the prospect of working with the new provost and his inspiring vision for growing the academic enterprise in research, teaching, and service. As Young Mo Kim said, this is our best year yet. Have an awesome year, and in the famous chant of the Drexel Deck Pack, let's go Dragons. Thank you.
I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Ira Taffer, an elected member of the Board of Governors of the Alumni Association, and the recipient of 2 Drexel degrees in 1979 and 1983. Dr. Taffer is also serving the university as interim head of the chemistry department, and we're grateful for his work in that capacity. He brings greetings from Drexel's alumni.
Thank you, Provost Blake, and good morning to everybody. It's an honor to be here representing the more than 150,000 Drexel alumni around the world. I've had the privilege of engaging with my alma mater in a variety of capacities over the years. I've served as a department head, chair of the Alumni Association's Board of Governors, trustee, parent of a graduate, and of course, a student myself. From these experiences, I know firsthand how much there is to be proud of this remarkable institution. Drexel's alumni from across generations share this pride. We are indelibly shaped by our peers who became lifelong friends, the outstanding education we received, and the dedicated faculty members who taught, mentored, and inspired us. My fellow Dragons and I are also deeply proud of Drexel's growth and transformation over the past decade and the exciting vision of its future. Our keynote speakers and all of you here today represent the university's commitment to achieving even greater levels of excellence, accomplishment, and innovation. Drexel's Alumni Association is committed to engaging our close-knit alumni community as a key partner in the university's continued success. So on behalf of my fellow alumni, congratulations on the start of a new year. Welcome to all our new students and employees. Welcome back to everyone who returns for another year, and good luck. Thank you.
The university exists to serve one of the most outstanding groups of students in the nation. Drexel students are represented by several student governmental organizations, and I'd like to welcome some of their leaders. First, James Gordon, president of the Undergraduate Student Governing Association, will offer greetings on behalf of the undergraduate students of the university.
Thank you, Provost Blake. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, staff, faculty, administrators, members of the Board of Trustees, and my fellow students. My name is James Gordon, and I am the president of the Undergraduate Student Government Association. When you first start playing Little League, you start out in T-ball. They put an oversized helmet on your head, give you a bat that's lighter than air, put the ball in that perfect position, and somehow you still manage to hit the tee and knock it over. But you run to first base anyway. Your parents are on the sidelines cheering you on the entire way. When you're old enough, you move on to Cubs. The helmets fit a little bit better, your glove is no longer made of plastic leather, and a pitching machine replaces the tee. The coaches begin to teach you how to play and relay the ball in from the outfield. Minor leagues is next. The game begins to get more complicated and looks something like the game of baseball. Your best friend, now on the opposing team, is pitching to you, and coaches teach you about double plays and how to throw that perfect fastball. Then, it's the majors. The pitching is faster and more complex. You can hit a double now, and you turn two on almost every play. This is baseball. In my years at Drexel, I found that college is a lot like baseball. You start out in T-ball with the basic courses your freshman year and your gen eds. As your professors are there to guide you along, you help us to adjust to college learning. Sophomore year, things get a little bit more complicated, like Cub baseball. We're expected to have the basics down, and you teach us all of the relevant lab techniques and business tactics that we'll need to know. By junior year, we're developing scientists, businesswomen, or engineers. On co-op, we get the chance to hone our skills and apply the knowledge that we've learned in your classroom to the real world. This is college. In senior year, we've reached the majors. We're relying on you to teach us how to throw that perfect curveball, as well as how to shotgun clone and recombine DNA. Instead of teaching us how to turn two, you teach us how to develop and deliver career-making presentations. Just as we once relied on our Little League coaches to teach us how to play baseball and compete for that championship trophy, we're relying on all of you to educate us to become fluent in our fields of study and earn a degree. You have such an important role here at Drexel, and the impact that you make on our student experience is remarkable. When you walk into your classrooms this year, I encourage you to think about just how influential you are on our careers and our lives. It is only with your coaching that we can form an all-star team and continue the Drexel legacy of excellence. You've got the bases loaded, and I'm confident that together we can make this a Grand Slam year. This is Drexel, and this is your year. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite Layla Abdallah, President of the Graduate Student Association, to offer greetings on behalf of Drexel's graduate students.
Hello, everyone. My name is Layla Abdallah, and I'm proudly serving as the president of the Graduate Student Association. Now, Provost Blake forgot to mention that I, too, am from Savannah, Georgia, and so we're proud Southerners. Now, we're also part of the same organization, which is Southerners who moved up north that still aren't ready for a real winter. So you're in it for life. We can be here for like 15 years, and we'll still complain like, oh, my God, you know we wear short sleeves in December. So we're just proud of that. I know, I'm sorry, summer's not even over and I'm already talking about the winter, it's brutal, but no worries, you'll always be warm in here, so. All right, so I don't have a smooth transition, so I'm just gonna go right into it. Innovation and collaboration, that's what brought me to Drexel. Before I started my program in the School of Public Health, I served as an AmeriCorps volunteer working alongside faculty and staff to provide academic, social, and emotional support to students with extremely low proficiency scores in math and science. This experience showed me that it takes many parts coming together in order for students to thrive. Similarly, in order to find solutions to public health problems, we must address the broad social determinants of health, including education, economics, and justice. The health of communities cannot be improved without the engagement of multiple disciplines, the same disciplines that thrive here at Drexel. For example, public health does not exist without the engineers who design healthy environments, nurses who provide immunizations, media artists who develop health campaigns, and policymakers who advocate for the health-centered legislation. Interdisciplinary research and practice is essential not only to public health, but to each and every college here at Drexel. Interdisciplinary research fosters collaboration and innovation. Not only do faculty members have the opportunity to learn from one another, but they have the opportunity to share this unique interdisciplinary knowledge with their students. It is this sharing of ideas and information that contributes to a successful and productive student experience. I would like to share a quote from Daisaku Ikeda, a contemporary Buddhist scholar and a peace activist, on the meaning and purpose of education. It goes, "It is my belief that education, in the broadest sense of the word, holds the key to meeting the challenges of global responsibility and fostering tolerance. Education does not mean coercing people to fit one rigid and unvaried mold. This is merely ideological indoctrination. Rather, true education represents the most effective means of fostering the positive potential inherent in all people. Self-restraint, empathy for others, and the unique personality and character of each person. To do this, education must be personal, even spiritual encounter and interaction between human being, between teacher and learner." As Daisaku quotes suggest, education is a unique journey that we must undergo both individually and collectively. The goal of education is not only to seek knowledge, but to also gain a better understanding of the world around us and how our ideas are connected despite varying perspectives. And on that note, I look forward to an incredible year. Good luck to all the faculty, staff, and students. Have a great day.
Savannahans. Now I'd like to call on our deans and directors to welcome the new full-time faculty who have joined Drexel for this year and to recognize our returning faculty. I ask that each new faculty member stand when his or her name is called. After all new faculty are introduced, the returning faculty of the academic union will be asked to stand. Please remain standing until your dean or director finishes, and I ask that the audience hold applause until the faculty at the college are standing. To begin, I am pleased to introduce once again the inaugural dean of Drexel's new graduate college, Dr. James Herbert.
Thank you very much, Provost Blake. And let me be again one of the next in line to welcome you to Drexel. It's been such a pleasure and actually a lot of fun over the past few months getting to work with you. And I look forward to lots more fun going forward. So greetings on behalf of the Graduate College. And part of the job of the Graduate College is to support the faculty from across the entire university who teach and otherwise work with our wonderful graduate students, masters, doctoral students from across the various disciplines. So would all of the faculty who work with our doctoral students and our master students please rise and be acknowledged. Thank you very much, and I look forward to a wonderful year together. One more thing. Next, I would like to introduce my good friend and fellow dean, Dr. Donna Marasco, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
This is an important year for the College of Arts and Sciences. It's our 25th anniversary as a college, and it's the first year of our reorganized structure that visibly demonstrates our commitment to the humanities and social sciences. It is my pleasure to introduce the new faculty who join our returning faculty committed to making the College of Arts and Science a role model for liberal arts colleges of the 21st century, a college that recognizes application of knowledge as undergraduates is essential and will help Drexel be a leader among all comprehensive research universities. The new faculty in biology, Dr. Ryan Petrie, Dr. Kevin Smith. In chemistry, Dr. Craig McClure, and as new department head, Dr. Fraser Fleming. In criminology and justice studies, Dr. Ashley Leigh Dickinson. In history, Dr. Alden Young. In politics, Dr. Zoltan Buzas. In in the position of head of the inaugural Department of Global Studies and Modern Languages, Dr. Rogelio Mignana, and as inaugural head of Sociology, Dr. Susan Bell. Would you applaud these individuals, and would all the rest of the faculty please rise? It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Craig Newshafer, Director of the A.J. Drexel Institute of Autism.
Thank you, Donna. I am pleased to introduce the new faculty joining the A.J. Drexel Autism Institute. This is a multidisciplinary group with backgrounds in sociology, education, and public health. Dr. Elizabeth McGee Hasrick, who will be joining as an assistant research professor in our Life Course Outcome program. And joining her is Dr. Peter During, an associate research professor, and Dr. Colette Sosnawi, an assistant research professor. And finally, Dr. Kristen Lyle will be joining our modifiable risk factors program. Please join me in welcoming these folks. Now it's my privilege to introduce the interim director of the School of Biomedical Engineering, Science, and Health Systems, Dr. Kenneth Barbie.
It's my pleasure to introduce the new faculty in the School of Biomedical Engineering, Science, and Health Systems, Dr. Ming Zhao, Associate Professor, and Dr. Merrick Swoboda, Teaching Assistant Professor. Please join me in welcoming them and all of our faculty. I ask them all to rise now. Thank you. It's now my privilege to introduce the Dean of the LeBeau College of Business, Dr. Frank Linehan.
I'm pleased to welcome our new faculty in the LeBeau College of Business. Dr. Xuanren Liu, Assistant Professor, Decision Sciences. Dr. Ricardo Serrano Padilla, Assistant Professor, School of Economics. And Dr. Christopher Gaffney, Assistant Clinical Professor, Decision Sciences. Please join me in welcoming them, and I would ask our faculty to stand up and be recognized. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the interim dean for the College of Computing and Informatics, Dr. Spiros Mankordias.
I'm pleased to introduce the new faculty for the College of Computing and Informatics, Dr. Matthew Berlick, Teaching Assistant Professor of Computer Science, Dr. Mark Bodie, Teaching Assistant Professor of Computer Science, Dr. Colin Gordon, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, Dr. Alex Poole, Assistant Professor of Information Science, and Dr. John D'Ignazio, Assistant Professor of Information Science. Please join me in welcoming them to our faculty, and would the rest of the faculty of the College of Computing and Informatics please rise. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the School of Education, Dr. Nancy Butler-Songer.
Good morning. I'm pleased to introduce the new faculty to the School of Education. Dr. Ayana Allen is faculty in Urban Education. Dr. Michael Haslip is faculty in Early Childhood Education. Dr. Aaron Horvat is faculty in Urban Education and our new Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Dr. Valerie Klein is faculty in Mathematics Education, and Dr. Tony Sondergeld is faculty in Measurement and Educational Assessment. Please join me in welcoming them and all of our faculty, and with the rest of the School of Education faculty, also please rise. Now it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Chico Wangpa, who is the head of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, representing Dean Joseph Hughes and the College of Engineering. Dr. Wangpa.
I am pleased to introduce the new faculty of the College of Engineering, Dr. Andrew Bagnall, Assistant Professor of Materials Science and Engineering. Dr. Mahar Harb, Assistant Professor for Materials Science and Physics. Please join me in welcoming them and all our faculty. Will the rest of engineering faculty please rise? Now it's my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the School of Entrepreneurship, Dr. Donna DeCarlos.
I am pleased to introduce the new faculty and member of our new venture team at the Charles D. Close School of Entrepreneurship, Dr. Zahed Subhan. Please join me in welcoming him and all of our faculty at the Close School. With the rest of the Close School faculty, please rise. Now it's my privilege to introduce my good friend, the Dean of the Pennoni Honors College, Dr. Paula Morantz-Cohen.
Because the Honors College has no faculty of its own, we draw faculty from all the other colleges across the university to teach our courses. So will all persons present who have taught or been involved with the Pennoni Honors College within the past 3 years, please stand and be recognized. And now it's my privilege and personal pleasure to introduce the Director of the Center for Hospitality and Sports Management, Dr. Jonathan Deutsch.
My freshman English teacher. I'm pleased to introduce the faculty of the Center for Hospitality and Sport Management. Would the Hospitality and Sport Management faculty please rise? Please join me in welcoming them. Thank you. It's my privilege to introduce the Dean of the Klein School of Law, Roger Dennis.
We don't have any new faculty this year, but I want to warmly welcome back all of my wonderful colleagues. Luda, we are in session, so I didn't cancel classes. So most of them are doing the real work of the university. And those who could make it, please rise. The other duties is assigned for the Associate Dean. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the very cool Dean Alan Sabinson of the very, very cool Westfall School of Media Arts and Design. Alan.
I am pleased to introduce the new faculty of the Antoinette Westfall College of Media Arts and Design, Dr. Elizabeth Lily Milroy, our new department head of art and art history and a full professor, Eric Carnes, Assistant Professor of Graphic Design, Department of Design, and Allison Bagnall, a visiting teaching professor of film and cinema, of film and video in our Department of Cinema and Television. Please join me in welcoming them and all of our faculty, and with the rest of our faculty, please rise. Now it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Valerie Weber, Vice Dean for Educational Affairs in the College of Medicine, representing Dean Dan Shidlow.
Good morning. We've had a very busy and productive year at DUCOM. One of the things you might not realize about DUCOM, and that I learned when I came about a year ago, was that we educate 1 of 74 practicing physicians in the United States. what a responsibility and what an opportunity we have had as we redesign our curriculum to really bring it up to the state of the art. The other really interesting number that I could share with you is 15,431, which is the number of applicants we had for our MD program this past year. We get more applicants to our program than any other medical school in the United States. So to that, I would like to introduce a very special new member of our faculty, Dr. Linda Berardi-Demo, who has very recently joined us as our new Associate Dean for Admissions and Enrollment. Please stand, Linda. Linda brings very deep experience in admissions enrollment, both at the undergraduate and medical school level, and so we welcome her. And we also, like the School of Law, have been in session for over a month now, so people are busy seeing patients, teaching, doing their research. But I'd like to invite all of my colleagues in the Faculty of Medicine to please stand. It's now my privilege to introduce Dr. Gloria Donnelly, who is Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Professions. Gloria.
Thank you. I'm pleased to introduce the new faculty of the College of Nursing and Health Professions, now serving more than 5,000 students, both online and in person. For the Behavioral Health Science Counseling Department, Dr. Angela Kalistra. Health Systems and Sciences Research, Dr. Leila Bushiri. Health Systems and Sciences Research, Dr. Jerome Dugan. The Division of Nursing, Dr. Anthony Angelo, Dr. Suzanne Ariza, Dr. Kathleen Ashton, Dr. Kathy Bradbury-Golis, Dr. Patricia Becker, Dr. Tammy Calabrese, Dr. Teresa Campo, Dr. Beth Chiotti, Dr. Danielle Devine, Dr. Susan Landon, Dr. Loretta Jamont, Dr. Jackie Murphy, Dr. Michelle Shaft. And joining the nursing division and our fully distant faculty, and they are here by webcast, Dr. Kay Schwartzwelder and Dr. Suzanne Taylor, and in nutrition sciences, Dr. Robin Danowski. Would the remainder of the College of Nursing faculty please stand up and be recognized? It is my privilege to introduce the Dean of the School of Public Health, Dr. Anna Diezru.
Thank you, Gloria. First, I'd like to mention that we are the last school to present, not because public health starts with a P, but because we are indeed the most interdisciplinary of all the schools and colleges, at least in my biased opinion, as amply demonstrated by a terrific graduate student speaker. So it's my real pleasure to introduce our terrific new faculty for this year, Jerry Fagliano, Associate Clinical Professor and Chair of Environmental and Occupational Health, Brent Langolier, Assistant Professor of Health Management and Policy, Shriki Kumanika, Research Professor in Community Health and Prevention, Ana Martinez Donate, Associate Professor in Community Health and Prevention, and Leslie McClure, Professor and Chair of Epidemiology and Biostatistics. Please join me in welcoming them and all of our faculty. Please rise.
I'd like to extend my welcome to all our new faculty, and please recognize them once again. I want to thank everyone for attending Convocation. Please rise and join Rebecca Seiler in singing the first verse of the Drexel Ode, which can be found in the program. then please remain standing as Professor Dion retires the mace and the stage party leaves the auditorium. We will then proceed to the great court, where I invite you all to join us for a reception. I wish you all the best in this upcoming academic year.